Hey guys, and welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be covering college basketball games for January 26, 2017. Our daily free play over at our main website, stumpthespread.com, has been on fire, winning 8 of the last 9 days. Yesterday, we had Illinois come through for us at home against Iowa. If you're interested in getting today's free bet over at our main website, you can head on over to stumpthespread.com by clicking on the logo in the top right-hand corner of this video if you're on desktop, and we'll also link Stump the Spread in the video description so you can access it that way. Our free plays over there have really been racking up some solid results as of late, so if you're interested in getting that, you can head on over there. For today's action, we got about 6 games in today's video that we want to talk about, and if you're interested in getting more of this pick video content in the future, you can go ahead and click that subscribe button, and also if you can click the thumbs up on this video, it's greatly appreciated and really helps us out. The first game that I want to touch on for today's action is going to be between Xavier and Cincinnati, and if you're interested in knowing which games that I'm going to be touching on in this video, I'll put those in the description as well. So getting into this Xavier versus Cincinnati matchup, always a really fun game over there between these inner city rivals. The Xavier Musketeers were able to snap out of their 3-game losing streak the other day as Xavier went on to beat Georgetown at home by a final of 86-75. Xavier has faded a bit both in the polls and with their potential seeding in the NCAA tournament, given they've been coming up short against some of the upper tier teams in the Big East. And on the year, this group now stands 14-5 overall and 4-3 in conference. Xavier's gone just 1-4 on the road so far this season, but the Musketeers were much more competitive in their last outing on the road against Butler than they were in their previous outing. That loss against Butler really coming down to the wire there, losing by 5 points. But their previous outing on the road before that, Xavier fell to Villanova by 25 points in what was not a great result for them. Xavier has strengths on both ends of the court, ranking around 100th in the nation in both scoring average and total defense. And then the home team, Cincinnati. Cincinnati has been a top performer in the American this season, standing an impressive 17-2 overall, as well as 7-0 in conference, coming into this really intriguing matchup here against their inner city foe, Xavier. Cincinnati took care of business in their last outing, taking down Tulane on the road by a final of 78-61. And the Bearcats continue to put up strong defensive performances as this group ranks 10th in the nation in points allowed, as well as a solid 94th in scoring average. Cincinnati has quietly been one of the hotter teams of the nation, with some of their better recent wins coming against Houston on the road as well as SMU at home. The Bearcats spread the ball around with 5 players averaging between 8 to 15 points per game, and this is really an unselfish group that likes to get a lot of different offensive options involved on that end of the court. This is always an exciting matchup as these two strong basketball programs go head-to-head in the city of Cincinnati. The Bearcats have been picking up more wins as of late, but to be fair to Xavier, they have faced a tougher schedule over the past few weeks. With that said, we do like Cincinnati to come through here behind their strong home court advantage as they go on to win and cover this spread. When I initially was putting together this particular matchup, I was seeing the spread at 3.5, so I really liked Cincinnati in that case. As we can see, this spread has shifted up to -6, so not quite as confident in this one, but I'm still liking the Bearcats here, especially behind their solid home court advantage to go on and outpace Xavier as they go on to cover this spread. All right, next game that I want to talk about is over in the CAA between the College of Charleston and Towson. The College of Charleston have performed very well on the road, standing 6-2 in true road tests so far this season. Charleston came through in their last outing, getting past James Madison at home by a final of 73-60, and the Cougars continue to sit right in the upper tier of the CAA, standing 16-5 overall, as well as 7-1 in conference. Charleston has been an elite defensive performer all season long, ranking 5th in the nation in points allowed compared to 326th in scoring average. The Cougars love to slow things down in the half court and lean on their defense for success. Joe Chile has stepped up for this group, leading the way on the offensive end in what is really a slow half court attack that Charleston deploys, and he's currently averaging 15.5 points per game. And then moving over to the home team, we have the Towson Tigers. They've been very streaky over the past month of action, first losing 4 in a row, and now they're currently riding a 4-game winning streak, playing some pretty solid ball over the past couple weeks. In the last outing, Towson looked strong on the road against Delaware, beating the Blue Hens by 17 points. And the Tigers are now another team that likes to play off of their defense in the CAA, as they rank 63rd in the nation in points allowed, compared to 212th in scoring. Towson has climbed their way back up the CAA standings as they now sit at 12-9 overall, as well as 4-4 in conference. This scrappy Towson group has been led by Mike Morsel, who's averaging 13.6 points per game. Charleston has performed well on the road this season, and the Cougars have been posting consistently solid performances thus far in conference play, with their only CAA loss coming against UNCW, who's currently undefeated in the league. Towson has been playing a lot better as of late, but we still like Charleston's defense to be a difference maker in this one. In what should be a lower scoring game, we do like the Cougars to keep things competitive and come through here against the spread in the end. All right, moving on down here. The next game we want to talk about is over in the Big Ten between Nebraska and Northwestern. All right, let me just find my spot here. All right, after getting off to a red-hot start in conference play, Nebraska has taken a bit of a step back as of late, but this up-and-coming Huskers squad remains very competitive both in their home and road matchups, even though they haven't been picking up as many wins as of late. Nebraska has actually been better on the road in the Big Ten than they have been at home thus far, winning at places like Indiana and Maryland, while also pushing Michigan and Rutgers more recently in losing efforts. Nebraska knew they were heading into a rebuilding year, but a number of their underclassmen are getting more comfortable and becoming more consistent threats on the court. This group has been led by Ty Webster, who's averaging 18.1 points per game. And then the home team, the Northwestern Wildcats, have the talent and experience to make a run towards the NCAA tournament, and this group has been putting together some solid results in the Big Ten, now standing 16-4 overall, as well as 5-2 in conference. In their last outing, Northwestern showed ice in their veins down the stretch against Ohio State on the road, beating the Buckeyes by a final of 74-72 in a very hostile environment. Northwestern was able to get past Nebraska on the road a couple of weeks back, beating the Huskers by 8 points in what was a very close game throughout, and a game that really saw both teams go through a couple of streaky portions on the offensive end, and Northwestern was finally able to pull away in the end. The Wildcats like to play off of their defense, as the Wildcats rank 31st in the nation in points allowed, as well as 137th in scoring average. Northwestern could be getting a bit complacent coming into this home matchup, somewhat like Nebraska was against the Wildcats earlier in conference play, coming off a lot of success back in that particular matchup. With that said, we do like Northwestern to come through and get the win, but we do like Nebraska to keep things respectable on the road again here as they go on to cover the spread. And now I want to move over into the Pac-12 and this matchup between Oregon and Utah. So this Oregon team, they didn't get off to the greatest start. It's been well documented this year. They were very slow out of the gate, but part of that had to do with some injury issues. But anyways, Oregon has really picked up their play in the Pac-12, now standing 18-2 overall, as well as 7-0 in conference. There's no denying Oregon got off to a slow start, but the Ducks have been progressing as a squad under the radar after getting off to that slow start, and also with Dylan Brooks. When he made his comeback back during the non-conference, that really boosted this team. And for this particular matchup, Oregon hasn't come out and flat out said that Dylan Brooks is going to be playing, but based on the information that's currently available, it does seem like he will at least try to give it a go in this one. It's a really important game on the road here for Oregon, and we are expecting Dylan Brooks to play in this particular matchup, and that will be a benefit to Ducks backers in this one. Brooks, like we said, looks like he's going to be ready for this one, but Oregon still has a bunch of other guys that can kind of take some of that responsibility off of Brooks' shoulders. If he is on the court, they can spread the ball around to a number of different guys. And Utah is also having kind of a game-time decision here for their big guy, David Collette. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to go, but Oregon has won 6 straight conference games in blowout fashion. But things will be tougher here today for the Ducks on the road. Oregon has strengths on both ends of the court, ranking 18th in the nation in total defense, as well as 49th in scoring average. And then the home team, we have Utah. And the Utes really have emerged as one of the more dangerous teams in the Pac-12 over the past few weeks. And the Utes sit in the upper tier of the league right now at 14-5 overall, as well as 5-2 in conference. In their last outing, Utah was impressive on the road, getting past Washington by a final of 94-72, and that came on the heels of a 43-point win on the road against Washington State. Utah has been boosting their resume as of late, and the Utes have also shown strengths on both sides of the ball as well, standing 55th in the nation in total defense and 29th in scoring average. Utah might not have gone against the toughest non-conference slate, but the Utes have been passing the eye test with flying colors as of late, which has really boosted their chances at and their potential seeding as an at-large team to the NCAA tournament. These are two of the hottest teams in the Pac-12 right now, along with Arizona, and this figures to be a very competitive matchup as a result. We're confident that Brooks will at least give it a go here on the road, and that will be an important boost here for the Ducks. Utah will fight hard on their home court behind their strong home crowd advantage, but we really see this game potentially going either way straight up, and as a result, we do like Oregon getting the points here as the better bet. And just a couple more games that I want to touch on a little bit more quickly, and it's going to be some smaller conference matchups. The first one's going to be between Southeast Missouri State and Murray State. This is a Murray State squad that has been a bit hit or miss this year, but definitely one of the higher ceilinged offensive teams over there in the Ohio Valley Conference. And Murray State also boasts one of the best home court advantages in the conference. Murray State has played their way up to the top of the standings over there in their division in the OVC, and we do like them to build off of their home crowd and really propel them here in this one as they go on to win and cover this 8.5-point spread against Southeast Missouri State. And one other game that I want to touch on real quick here is going to be between Idaho and Montana State. This spread has shrunk a bit. Both of these teams, mainly Montana State, likes to play at a faster pace as they lean on their offense. Idaho has shown that they kind of play more to the pace of their opposition. That can kind of play into Montana State's hands in this one on their home court. Montana State doesn't necessarily have the most elite home court advantage by any means, but home court does mean a lot in this conference over in the Big Sky. And with this spread shrinking, this Montana State squad does have quite a few offensive weapons and one of the best offensive players in the conference, and we do feel like behind their home court advantage that they will be able to outpace Idaho in this one as they go on to win and cover this spread, which has shrunken a bit here, making it a bit more manageable for the Bobcats to go ahead and get this cover today. And that's the last game that I wanted to touch on in today's video. Again, if you're interested in getting our daily free play over at our main website, you can head on over to stumpthespread.com by clicking the logo in the top right-hand corner on desktop, and we'll also link Stump the Spread in the video description. Also, if you're interested in getting more of this content in the future, you can click that subscribe button, and if you can click the thumbs up, it's greatly appreciated. That's pretty much going to wrap up what we want to touch on in today's video, so thanks guys for stopping in, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.